All right, 5 o'clock on a Friday. You know what time it is. Time to hit the books, part of the Hammer Betting Network. Alongside, wait a second. I don't see him. He's MIA. I don't know if he's too busy taking down his Kamala Harris signs for a couple weeks ago. But Joey K will join us when he can, I guess. So
What? I heard the Kamala joke there, you son of a bitch. I'm trying to drop off a few bags of Bryce Underwood's house, wondering, making sure everything's tied and done. So, hey, don't let, I caught you before you could get going there, huh?
Yeah, I was going to get going a little bit, but I figured if we start, you'd magically appear on the show. So there he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish. I'm merely Brad Powers. Producer extraordinaire Zach Phillips is with us. Before we get to your questions, comments, let me remind everybody that Hit the Books is indeed brought to you by FanDuel, and you can make every moment more this college football season with a win on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And obviously FanDuel, we've been talking about them all off season, all season. They are the first to market when it comes to props, when it comes to a lot of the futures, win totals, sides totals on a weekly basis. They got them all up. They got a lot of next week's games up. Maybe we'll sneak in a few of them before the end of the show. But right now, all customers can get a profit boost every single college football game day. That means you can pump up your gridiron winnings multiple times a week. And obviously, we got a couple of big time games. The one that we're going to do halftime, Indiana, Ohio State tomorrow. That's the noon kickoff. Obviously, got a nice night game between Army and Notre Dame with a lot of playoff implications. You can get a 50% PBT profit boost token to use on any bet in those big games. You can use them on spreads, live bets, overs, unders, so much more. Just visit FanDuel.com/hitthebooks to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. Disclaimer, you must be 21 plus and present in select states or 18 plus and present in D.C. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg/help.com. Knish, you gonna apologize to the people? There was like 350 people waiting your arrival.
Let me think about that. No, I'm not going to apologize to the people because the #1 recruit in the country, the #1 player, maybe in the history of high school football, is maize and blue, baby. And that you know what? If you're waiting for it on Hit the Books weekend, then that to me is worth the wait, my friends. Bryce Underwood, get your shirt ready. Maybe chip in a few bucks, Michigan, even if you're not a Michigan fan, you might as well, true up the coffers there. So listen, might be a 6-6 season, but not for long, my friend. Not for long. Brian Kelly, tough one for all of the SEC. The SEC, that it just means more. Well, guess what doesn't mean more? You're broke. You're too broke now. You're too broke to play with the big boys. Larry Ellison, I tell you what, you know what? We need to do this show on, I don't know, what, Jack, are we using Oracle software? I don't even know what they sell there, but I'll take some of it. Oracle, Ellison, Portnoy, Stephen Ross. It's over. It's over now. And now the NCAA is going to be like, this NIL. Congress is probably going to come down with two hammers now that Michigan's got the NIL lined up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to last long as far as the unlimited bank payrolls.
Not after this, folks. Not after Michigan just, pulled this out. Well, Connor Stallions, Harbaugh. Oh, man. What a day.
Still need a lot more, bud, though, for next year. Need about 10, 12 starters.
More where that came from. That's just the tip of the iceberg, baby.
All right. 10, 12 starters is the last I check what you need, and you need about 5 or 6 new coaches, too.
Well, let's.
And that's to get to 8-4.
Kirk Campbell better be updating the resume, if you know what I'm saying.
It was a very exciting time for a Michigan fan. Even a Notre Dame fan, Brian Kelly aside, I was just glad the kid stayed home. It's needed for college football to have a little bit more balance, because I get SEC fatigue as well. All right, that's enough of that. We'll talk more recruiting. Obviously, signing day is coming up in a couple weeks, but last I checked, we got about 58, 55, something like that games still left on the board this week. And let's get to the comments, questions, concerns. Reichs was first in the chat, super chat, $9.99. Happy Friday, fellas. Washington State -12. How do the Beavers keep up? Any info on UTSA leaning team total over 36? I lean both of those ways. Washington State's not necessarily a buy on them. It's a fade on Oregon State. I mean, what have they showed at any point since like week 2 or week 3 that gives you any confidence that they can keep that game close? I don't see it. UTSA, yeah, I mean, a tough handicap with Temple firing their coach after a win. I thought actually the coach did fine this year for Temple, and they still fired him. I might lose a win total on them, a really good number, and they still fired him. Yeah, I could see that on UTSA. They should be somewhat motivated. They're still sitting at 5 wins. Did you do anything in those 2 games?
I like the Washington State one a lot. I agree with it. I don't know. I mean, Oregon State seems to be trending downward all year, and Washington State, I mean, when they, for the most part of the season, sans a couple of hiccups, when they've gone up against these subpar, competition teams in the Mountain West, when the offense is rolling, they're really able to put it on them. So yeah, I like Wazoo. Played some of that myself. I don't have.
What number do you got there? Zach, can you pull up that Washington State, Oregon State game? See what we got. I see as low as 10.5 in the market, 11.5. What number do you like?
Do we got a?
It's a late game. We'll hit it tomorrow. Let's see where it's at tomorrow. It looks like in faraway places it wants to go down instead of up.
Yeah.
So let's wait on that one. Yeah, that would be a best bet for me at -10. Charles Saul, usually first in the chat. First game for Friday. Let's discuss the game of the century. Florida State versus Charleston Southern. Blink twice if you think first half money line is good. First half money line for who? Florida State? I mean, I'll just give. I mean, I doubt there's gonna be much value. I think I made it like 33 total, 44-ish. So there you go.
Yeah, I did not of the crossovers this week. Did not partake in this one.
Did you partake in some?
Maybe the other one.
Oh, there's 2 other ones. If you're not at liberty to say, I understand because they're not widely available. Let's not destroy the market.
But no, I don't. That's one I can't see. I can't see having a play in that one.
All right,
I know, but I mean, just Charleston Southern team absolutely miserable.
So is Florida State. Half a coach.
I know. Staff. With that, what number you need to play Chuck South? 35.5.
Yeah, 35.5.
That's what I was gonna. That's where I'm at with it. So I don't want to lay 30+ points with Florida State. Unless they're playing like a girls flag team. So,
but yeah, I mean Charleston Southern's a bad FCS team. I'd be so much more intrigued if like FSU was playing like a top 20, top 25 FCS team. Then it'd be like game on, especially if that FCS team had some success early. But I'm just looking at my current rankings. I have Charleston Southern 100th in the FCS. So there we go there. Derek in the chat, am I missing something when it comes to Western Kentucky? Well, I'll tell you the thing that I can't grasp is the performance last week.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I would have said this is an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Then they fell absolutely flat on their face last week against a bad Louisiana Tech. So
I can't. I lean Western Kentucky, but I can't like give it out best bet. It was that bad of a head scratcher.
I played some pick. So that's basically what the number. That's right there.
Pick with Liberty?
No. Western Kentucky.
Oh, you see, it's up to 1.5 now. Liberty. Yeah. When are you going to learn? Liberty money comes late.
Yeah, I know. The Liberty. Yeah. So we want
to bet it or no?
Right next season. It? But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to throw that in the best bet portfolio.
All right.
Some red flag there.
I can understand. I can understand losing as a favorite, not that way. I mean, you have a bunch of turnovers. You mess up in the red zone or something. Not scoring 7 points against that team.
Yeah,
that was bad. All right, I certainly lean Western there. D-Lee 23. Thoughts on Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State game? Our future very alive if we can pull the upset. I did bet Sam Houston, but I need above 7. Current 6. I don't have too much. Maybe lean under there. What was it? 50?
Yeah, I don't think the 7's coming back. Sadly, that's kind of where I'm at. Well, I mean, I do think Jacksonville State. Listen, anybody can be. This is the conference. Anybody can beat anybody on any given week. And so yeah, that's what I'll just be rooting for our Sam Houston Bearcats to win outright. Gun to my head, I'd still play it at 6, but the Sam Houston offense, the last
month.
Yep, month has been brutal. So you need, and listen, even if your defense is playing well, they're going to score some points at Jacksonville State. So you need, I mean, Jesus Christ, they're going to have to get into at least the mid to high 20s to win this game. And
I don't know if they can do that.
I don't know if they can do it either. So
under, I think at current 57.5 there on the screen. That would be my preference.
you want, actually, let's play that. Have you played that?
Bet that?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I don't know how you're getting any Sam Houston State game to that total right now. You can play 8 quarters.
I agree. I like that. I was kind of waiting on your take.
Yeah, under 57.5. Go on that one, Zach. There you go. Boom. I got another total. Let's throw out. Oh, this one's moving. Have you done anything North Carolina, BC? It looks like it just moved before we came on the show.
I did not in this one, actually.
Weather's supposed to be really bad.
Oh.
So go under 54.5. Best bet it. That's the best number in the market.
That is the best number in the market.
Boom. Go. Zach. I'm glad Zach's with us.
Yeah, Zach. Yeah, if it's Jacob, he'd be drinking a latte, wondering, what game we betting? So yeah. It's hard to find good people there in Canada, I will tell you that. But we got one with Zach. Well, I tell you, dating Zach is with single man Zach, not so maybe out, he'd be probably hung over wondering what was happening, but relationship Zach is much more stable.
All right. Days of our lives there. Thank you for that. So there you go. There's a couple best bets. Boom. Hopefully you guys are quick to the trigger there. But yeah, it looks like really bad weather there. Can't have a game that high. I'm sorry, I got to scroll down. Matt, happy Friday, gents. Right back at you, Matt. How does either team move the ball in the Auburn game tomorrow? Under the play? Yeah, I certainly lean that way.
There's some, and I know some of my guys just were betting awesome Auburn today. I know some market was Auburn.
I like Auburn. I'm greedy, man. Are we going to see a 3? I just been waiting because, who cares if we lose a half point or, a point or something? I'm just like, but I want that extra half. Don't you? I'm okay with it. Let's just wait till tomorrow. We're not going to lose anything. It's not like they're going to flip favorite. So. Where do you want to go now?
No. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm not as bullish on Auburn as the others.
Oh, okay. I do like Auburn quite a bit. I've been laying in wait to just see. And keep in mind, public can have a say in today's day and age. And I don't trust the Saturday moves as much as they used to because it's mainly probably just public people betting. Keep in mind the BC North Carolina game. We have BC at plus 3.5. Looks like it's crossed through the key number 3 there. A couple of big super chats here I got to get to. We'll start. There we go. Kyle Cragen in the chat. $4.99 going to the Texas-Kentucky game tomorrow. Any lean side or total if you had to make a play? Probably Kentucky for me. I know they're banged up, but, man, you give this Kentucky team 3 touchdowns. We saw it against Georgia. We saw it, a big number. The market kept betting against them in the Tennessee game they covered. What's the other game? Oh, Ole Miss, the game they won outright. I lean Kentucky. Where are you at? I need 21 to make it a play, though.
Yeah, I'd lean. Same exact thoughts there. Was kind of seeing where the number went, if it could get up there to 21 or over. I don't know if it's going to get there. If anything, it probably drips down a little bit. Hey, the total's right about where it opened at 47.
Yeah. Another one. What time is that game tomorrow? Let's see where we're at tomorrow on that one. Good, that's a 3:30 game. There's a possibility. I could be talking. It's definitely a go at 21.5, but 21, I'm like, I'll make a bet on it at 21. That's what I need. But it hasn't moved all week. So we'll see. Benjamin Rash in the chat, 1999. Danny Dimes agent just got appointed to Trump's cabinet, head of contractual negotiations. Let's talk Auburn. Line stinks. It does. If you just covered up the win-loss record and just looked at an Auburn team that, yards per play margin is more than 1 yard per play better than Texas A&M. Yards per game margin, almost 70 yards per game better on average than A&M. You'd be like, oh, the home team should be favored. They're not. So it's just Auburn doesn't do the little things well. They haven't all year. So that's why A&M's favored.
Yeah, I agree with you that Auburn, but at the same time, am I looking to jump in front of that Auburn bus
No, I
late
hear
season
you.
here? I don't know. I know some.
You do not like this one.
Jones.
All right, I got you. I feel you. What I'm also not, you're not feeling Auburn. I'm not feeling almost 600 viewers and only 150 likes. Get them likes up, folks. That's per Zach, the boss. Crypt Zombie, $25. Appreciate you. Thanks for doing these.
He's fishing. Crypto's dipping out after the last the months of this crypto run. He's giving out super chats. He's probably living on Maui at this point.
Yeah. Thanks for doing these Geek Out DGen sessions twice a week. Good gents. We do them 3 times a week. If you follow us, halftime, Indiana, Ohio State tomorrow. If Buffs lose to the Hayhawks, does he mean Hayhawks or Jayhawks? Pretty catchy. Oh, no, he did mean it. How would you see the Big 12 championship game shaking out? Thank you so much, gents. Arizona State controls their destiny. I don't think enough people are talking about that. Arizona State wins their next 2 games. Arizona State's in the Big 12 championship game. How's it shake out? If they, I don't know. Like, who else? Like, I don't know all the tiebreakers. I just know Arizona State owns tiebreakers over a few. If they win. Iowa
State also.
Okay.
In that scenario, Colorado loses. Iowa State owns the tiebreaker.
Okay. They don't have 2 losses, but they still play Kansas State.
Yeah, still have to play Kansas State.
And then I would say the winner of the Iowa State Kansas State game, right?
Yeah, but there's some crazy scenarios that are still live in this. Like TCU and Texas Tech aren't even out of it yet, depending on
Colorado minus money favorite. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I mean,
I got it. Where you at on BYU Arizona State?
I saw what you sent in on something that we'll talk about in about a half hour. I guess you weren't following me on Twitter. I mean, today I already sent it out, man. I think people didn't think I was joking because they saw it moved from 3 to 3.5. I tweeted super max nuclear whale bet on Arizona State minus 3, but it was a joke because it was just they're wearing their old school uniforms, Sparky on the helmet.
Those are
nice.
I
tweeted that. The line. I mean, maybe somebody else moved it, but I do find it interesting. It went from 3 to 3.5. I was joking. People think like I don't get it. Like people think you're like literal all the time on Twitter. I mean, come on, folks. I see you're on the other side.
You do actually like Arizona State.
No, I pass.
Oh, okay.
I was joking. They're changing their uniforms, and I just put in the Super Whale Max nuclear bet. I mean, I guess I should have put in that I was joking.
3 and hook now.
But yeah, 3 and a hook. I can only look towards BYU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mean, listen, we've been betting against BYU for a while now, but
you like it as a best bet, BYU at plus 3.5?
I mean, I don't hate it.
All right. Hey man, it's your show. According to Mr. Peanut, Mr. Peanut Butter says it's your show, so you want 3.5, you go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he prefers Joey K. Not everyone does though. I know there's some BP truthers out there. So, but no, let's let's see where we can see where it's at.
I made it 3, so I'm total pass. I was again just literally joking on that, so. 3.5, I can only look towards BYU. Seriously. Daryl Winningham in the chat. Why Michigan State tonight? It's not necessarily pro Michigan State. It's anti Purdue. Have you watched? Purdue's had 1 good game. Illinois. That's it.
Yeah.
They haven't covered another game other than the opener against the FCS team. That's it. I mean, and they're not close against the spread either. I mean, they're failing to cover. Forget the scoreboard. They're failing to cover by double digits per game.
With that said,
Oh, come on, 13.5.
Not at 13.
That's worth a bet. I don't know, best bet, but that's a bet, right?
I don't know.
No,
I mean, I thought. Listen,
you're
I
not
know
liking Michigan State. You're listening to Valenti too much there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the local media is not exactly in love with Jonathan Smith at the moment, but I don't know.
3 weeks ago, they loved him when they beat Iowa. Now they hate him.
No, you lose to Michigan, and then it all comes crumbling down. I'm not. I don't. I honestly, I know people love the standalone Fridays. I don't have much on the card tonight.
If I had to make a bet right now, that 13.5 is pretty good because that's the best number available in the market. I have actually bet that exact line. So if you had to make that bet at FanDuel, our friends at FanDuel, Michigan State minus 13.5. Weather in the UNLV San Jose State game, I think it helps UNLV because they're a much better run game. San Jose State throws it too much. The Temple UTSA game, I get the UTSA money, but I can't get the 17.
Yeah, I would probably lean the other way if there's a 14.5 on Purdue. The other two, no strong opinion on. I kind of agree with where your take there. UTSA line's just taking off too much. And yeah, gun to my head, I would probably lean UNLV as well. But nothing. I haven't actually nothing in the Joey K portfolio for the most part.
Peeking ahead, UTSA has Army next week. I kind of like that. Yeah, I like UTSA. Army off Notre Dame. Depending on what happens there, an Army with Tulane on deck and Navy on deck. So UTSA's probably, I'm waiting to bet them. Hopefully they're not too impressive and don't win by 40 tonight. Steve in the chat, Belky. I scrolling down. I'm sorry, Zach. Agree with the move to 12 in Penn State, Minnesota. I don't have anything on that game. I think in many past years, I would have liked Minnesota. I don't like what they're doing offensively. I mean, I know they had to throw it a little bit more, but not be like they're more throw. They throw it 53% of the time. They can't run this year. So when you're looking to back an underdog in a Big Ten game, I want to, hey, can you get some first downs, work the clock? I don't know if they can do that.
Yeah, I was looking at, you know what? This is a game I had circled for coming into the week as a bye. And the number really just never got to where, I was thinking that maybe 14, 13, and it's just kind of hung out there in the 11 and 12 stuff. And so I haven't been super, motivated to get in on that. Honestly, that's one. Hopefully, if I get an early Penn State score, I can get over 2 touchdowns. Maybe I'll jump in on some Minnesota live. Because otherwise, it's really thin. You got to kind of, we always preach on this show, the numbers matter. And do I like kind of the spot for Minnesota and a little bit of I like those things. It feels very baked in at 11.5. So
I think it's pretty telling that it's kind of no man's land, 11.5, 12, and hasn't moved this week. You thought there'd be like a push, and Penn State's the right side pushing towards 14, not getting to 14. Right. If Minnesota was really the right side, it would have been trying to go to 10, and it hasn't. So I don't think there's much value. Detroit Golf City, new member. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a member. Charles Saul in the chat. Thoughts on the total and Joey K's money line round robin late team Vandy? Looking at the under. I think LSU rolls over and Pavia slowly, methodically pisses on BK.
I don't know if there's been a worse 3 weeks for a program of that nature in a while as LSU football and losing to I tell you what, I don't know if they lose. Someone might I don't know if I can even say this on the show. What Brian Kelly, I would have a security detail if I'm Brian Kelly if I lose this game this weekend.
We gave out Vandy, right? Yeah. We're in front of we got a point or so, CLV. Yeah, that's going to be, they better have success early or that crowd's going to turn against LSU in that game. Yeah, I mean, who hasn't had a worse week? Somebody asked that. Yeah, Brian Kelly's had a worse week. I mean, this is when I turned on him as a Notre Dame fan. It was year one. I'm not even joking. I would have fired him after this. He got crushed by Navy. Obviously, Declan Sullivan, if you're not familiar with that, the student manager died on a practice because of heavy winds. He's up in the, filming practice in one of the lofts. Shouldn't have been up there. Brian Kelly, did he kill a kid? No, but come on, you got to have enough common sense. Get that kid down from there. with the wins. Come on. And then he loses to Tulsa after losing to Navy, all in a week time, 8 days. Fire him. I hated him from that point forward. Hated the guy. Still hate him. God, I hate that guy. Man. So good. Go Vandy. I hope he never wins another game at LSU. But I'll tell you, you want to talk about who should be in charge of the Department of Contract Negotiations? Brian Kelly's agent. He's got LSU for $100 million guaranteed. They're broke, man.
I mean, at some point, it's just like it's not if but when. He's gonna and you got to decide how much can you stomach and eat as an athletic department and the boosters.
I don't think they can eat $60 million. So you stuck with him for another year.
I was
probably if I had to guess, probably 2 more years of Brian Kelly. Oof. That's a rough 2 years. Hey guys, happy Friday. What do you think about Kentucky? Well, we kind of talked about that. We need an extra point. Teeks, Cal Stanford, the big game, sneaky overplay. Weather. I know never rains in California. It does in the Bay Area, obviously sometimes, but there's weather there. There's weather in Fresno. There's weather in USC, UCLA, possible rain. So that's why, if you're thinking why that total is a little low, that's why.
Yeah.
Did you do anything in that game? You like Stanford at 14.5, I think.
Right? I did. I just there was a couple health checks I wanted to do on Stanford and that wide receiver they had breakout. You
do that, and you make sure you're on time for the halftime. You do them health checks. I'm joking with you, man.
I honestly, before I want to fire and give it to the people, I want to make sure.
Cal to me is just. This will be the game Cal shows something.
I know that they may maybe looking ahead to the old band is on the field game this week. But yeah, I would love it if because I think that literally cashes both win totals if Stanford wins outright. So be praying for
beautiful area. I was at both this summer. I think Cal, great play. I mean, I was just thinking retirement. Cal looks like a great place to watch a game. Oh my God, I love that stadium. H-Train 34. East Carolina has turned it around. Thoughts +3. Did I get sent that? There was something on that game, I think, right before we came on the air. I don't know. No, I'm not really. No, was it you? Oh, it must have been you. You like East Carolina, don't you?
I do like East Carolina.
All right. Yeah, it was you. All right.
Yeah.
You like him at 3? Obviously.
Looks at 3. Yeah, it's one of those there's a few smattering of 3s left around out there. But I got to get to 3. I North Texas to me, it's more of a North Texas fade than I love ECU. But yeah, it's one of those you got. If
there's
you can
enough
find
threes, there's enough threes. I just wanted to jump in.
Did you want to give it out as the best bet?
Where you at on this?
I just
give me it, Zach. Give me it.
There you go.
I'll take it. I'll take this one on the chin. Pirates, baby. Give me ECU.
+3. There you go. Boom. Be good. I think that makes sure all win totals on East Carolina cash. I think they've cashed some now. That win total moved like 2 wins in the offseason. So, wow, they fired their coach and they're going to win like 7 games. Unbelievable. Steve Belke, any weather games? Yeah, I mean, there is quite a few. There's going to be quite a few FCS games, so lines aren't up yet. Well, that's going to be a shit show tomorrow, I can already tell. BC, North Carolina, we already gave that best bet out. That looks like one of the worst ones as far as the FBS games. Rain in Oregon State, it looks like. No surprise there. Utah, rain. I already mentioned UCLA, Fresno, Cal, rain. Wind. Looks like wind in maybe Rutgers. Liberty game, maybe some wind. Not enough where I'm talking play. We gave out the play, and that was the BC North Carolina game. Wind and rain there. Bad wind, maybe. Wyoming, some wind. It's always windy there. There you go. Boom.
There's a weatherman. BP. He's got another career.
You got to. I mean, you know what sucked though this year? Man, we had hardly any weeks with weather.
I know. Yeah.
How the hell? I mean, hopefully the playoff games get weather. Hopefully we get some stuff that we saw last night. Wouldn't that be something? That's football, man. The Steelers-Brown game. I mean, and they want to get rid of that. Whoa, come on. That's beautiful. Zach says, I think I have an ECU.
Oh yeah, we did
American.
have. Hey, listen, it was great preseason numbers on ECU. Didn't pan
Yeah,
out.
they blew a couple games early. I mean,
Yeah.
the problem was they had a quarterback that was too busy throwing to the other team. They switched out
Yeah.
quarterbacks, and now they look like, are they as good as Tulane?
And coaches.
They weren't going to ever beat They weren't going to ever be as good as a Tulane, but they could have maybe won another game or so. So I don't think it was a terrible bet.
You want to hit it? People are begging for the Indiana OSU breakdown.
Yeah,
here.
let's go.
There. And you know what? So
we got a bad number.
Monday is OSU starting center out for the year with an Achilles, a position that they really couldn't afford to lose. Does that change your opinion at all on this game?
No, I was trying to time it right to give out Ohio State -10 on the tout service. I could not time it. Like have you seen it? It's like a little back. It does not last long.
Yeah, it hits and then
So does it impact Ohio State's ability to win the national championship? Yes. It does. I could see why some people are betting Indiana. It's a 1 + 1 = 3 situation type of thing. I just think I got to see Indiana against someone legit, and I have my doubts because I saw them against Michigan. And Michigan, I don't know if it's that. I know they're legit talent-wise on defense, and it wasn't a great look for Indiana. How do they handle a big-time game? I mean, the biggest game in any of our lifetimes for Indiana football. I don't know. I just think a group of 5 all-star team has some limitations, and Ohio State is that limitation. Have you changed? Were you betting? Were you part of the 3-point move on Indiana?
No. It just, again, it wasn't a side, and that's not just saying it because, we're in on the show. It just wasn't a side that I wanted to be on this. I mean, unless you're giving me,
14 and a half. That's what I would have needed to consider Indiana. I still like. I'm telling you this: if we didn't give it out on Monday, we'd be talking. Do we give this out right now?
Yeah,
that's how much I still like Ohio State. So
I agree with you, like to the point where the center thing, I think again is a big deal. Slippery Rock. I know last year he was in there, but they're having to shuffle it around again, and that's hard to do late in the season, especially when you lose your. I think their center and left tackle were probably the two best guys on that line, and now they're both out. And your depth that was like the only position group where you had some depth concerns. So now you're going to go up against at least 2 or 3 elite defenses in the playoff. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's where it does impact them. The ability to win 3 or 4 games in a row against better competition than probably even Indiana. That's going to be a problem. And they throw in the Big Ten championship game too. So, I mean, there's not going to be enough, in my opinion. Benjamin Rash, $4.99 super chat. Almost forgot. Joey Puck's Friday. Sorry, I've been working on my Brian Kelly as a double agent for the state of Michigan thesis. Go Grand Valley State.
Benny, listen, we got I'm on the Pens tonight. This line keeps going up, but so I'll go a little smaller. Pens tonight plus 160 or better. There's plenty of those out there. And then tomorrow, the overnight's usually like a little bit priced better. Avalanche tomorrow. Anything, I think it was 115 was the buyoff price. Then there's some better out there. So Avs tomorrow, smaller play on the Pens tonight. Zach, do you guys have edge work this morning?
Yeah, we were on Ducks, but I think it was at a number that is no longer available. So it's not. I'm.
What was Auburn on?
Nothing. He had no bets tonight.
Well.
Yeah,
at least that saves him some money. Doesn't win us any money fading it, but he can afford Redden.
It's there. Ducks money line still available. Good now. That was the number that we gave it. That was the bet that we gave out this morning. Would only one. There's 2 games.
All right, some hockey. We give it all here. CFL, hockey, election. What else have we given out? Giving out just about everything. College basketball. Yep. Action Sports Central, recruiting for college football. Action Sports Central would love to hear your thoughts on 2 of the worst teams in football. Southern Miss and Kennesaw. No matter what I do with power rankings, I can't get these giant numbers versus South Alabama and FIU. Kennesaw didn't quit. All them guys hit the portal. They still played. My God, I'd like to have one of them back. That best bet from last week. Southern Miss, I think, has quit. I mean, 94-6 or 95-6 the last 2
Mhm.
weeks. I think they get crushed. South Alabama crushes them. Where you at there?
I know some friends of the show like South Alabama quite a bit. Gave it out, but at I think it was at 21 or maybe 22 or something. Now it's even gone, across 23s there. Here's the thing. The numbers wise, I kind of like. I agree. Kennesaw hasn't quit. I just like FIU and what they bet in the under 10. I mean, I kind of lean that way in that game. At the 8.5, I was waiting a little bit to see where this number goes, and this isn't because of like I'm fading Kennesaw. I think it's too. I kind of a buyer here late season on FIU. Southern Miss, I agree with you. The number's taken off. I don't want to bet. Am I running to bet 24 on them now?
Good deal.
I think you just got to.
I would still bet South Alabama. I think South Alabama might win by 40.
That's what's like to me. Just if you don't know where this team's at, like at that type of performance, just lay off the game. Especially if you've missed the early numbers. That's one of those you got to have the discipline to just say, all right, I didn't get in on South Alabama 2021. I'm going to pass on it. I know that maybe my number makes it a little high, but I don't know where this team's at. You just got to lay off. Plenty of games, plenty of goals. Just focus on it. Take it up. Just put it on the side.
Eat that in the chat. Happy Friday. He's going derivatives. Thoughts on UTSA team total over 19.5 in the first half, minus 9.5 first half. Miami team total over 44.5. Holy cow. I'm not dived into the UTSA game that much. I have been a team total guy though this year, picking spot picking some team.
Yeah,
totals.
you've been good with the team totals. I liked the over in that game.
The Miami game.
The Miami game, but
yeah, I agree.
I like that was one of the 10 plays I really liked this week. But I think that's up a few points. And to be honest with you,
up a few.
I kind of like the full game over as opposed to the Miami team total. And I know Wake defense is trash, but you got to expect Wake to get something on this Miami defense, which has been miserable.
Yeah, they're gonna get something.
So
yeah, I was actually. What's the Zach? Can you pull up? What's the Wake Forest team total? I think they're gonna score too. Don't you think?
I agree.
I
mean,
I'm just trying to. How do I attack this? Yeah, damn it, 21.5. Nah, 10 was correct on the over. I can say that. Teeks Cal. I already read that. Cal Stanford sneaky overplay. He'll read anything, folks. Guy asked, Indy and Arizona took some money. Any idea who's behind it? What do you think about them now? There was the group that went. Let's see who'd they go in on last night. Obviously, Indiana took money. Army took money. We haven't talked that game yet. Rutgers took money. They flipped from dog to favorite. Arizona, I agree with. We'll see, though. I mean, they've had one good performance this season. Just so happens to be. You got all the vibes on Arizona. What do you think, Mr. Wildcat there? What do you think?
I mean, I'm not as bullish. Just of those, I do like the Rutgers play. I agreed with that strongly. I think Rutgers is still okay, even at current. And there's some cheaper money line out there if you shop it around some minus 120. Actually, I think Zach, is FanDuel at minus 120.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, lock it in.
It's about right. The week after I played against Illinois, they'll lay an egg.
I just think Rutgers. And again, they're not at perfect. I know there's like a New Jersey guy in the chat who always trolls me because I know they've still got some injuries going, but they're improving. Well, I mean, early season, like after a few games, they were a complete morgue. They had 15 guys out that were contributors. So I like that now, especially. And you said a little bit of potential weather in that one. That to me favors Rutgers significantly because Illinois' passing attack is what they want to do. If there's anything that hindrance of that, then I think it benefits Rutgers that can move the ball a little bit. So better team on the ground, that type of thing. So, yeah, I like Rutgers in that one.
Let me ask the star of the show, Northwestern Michigan. Any thoughts on that? You're Mr. Michigan. Are the vibes good? Is it going to carry over?
I was going
The
to say,
vibes are
can
so
we-
good
yeah,
inside that building there at Chrysler that they're going to carry over to the game.
we said it on the Monday show. 10 was 10 the buy point, and we really let's what time's that game at tomorrow? 3. Let's see where it's at tomorrow.
All right.
If
agree.
I
My
tell you
power
what, if
rankings
it's
like
9.5
Michigan.
for 10 tomorrow on the show, I'm taking it.
Action Sports Central, yeah, on an island. We kind of like Michigan on this show too, and not as he loves them as a fan, but I let's see where they're at. I agree with Knish there. Garrett, any interest in laying points with the Crimson Tide? That's been back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
I bet I can just tell you I laid 13.5. It was a bet I made this week.
Okay.
You like Oklahoma?
No, just
I have a take. We'll see if you agree.
Okay.
I can't.
I don't have much on that game.
We're gonna get something in the next couple weeks, like 2 or 3 just out of nowhere upsets where everybody's bitching these SEC teams are gonna get left out. Like Notre Dame could lose, Alabama could lose this week or next week against Auburn. Hell, Georgia Tech could beat a Georgia. We are not done yet with all these 2-loss SEC teams. Somebody's gonna lose very unexpectedly.
No, that's fair.
Vanderbilt over Tennessee. I love Ole Miss this week. I think they crushed Florida, but I mean, watch Lane Kiffin pull a Lane Kiffin. Not everything is going to play out, folks. If you follow college football, we're in store for something.
I'm hijacking for 2. First one, Iowa, Maryland. Word on the street. Our mutual friend is texting me this morning about the Iowa quarterback room. I don't even know who's going for that. I mean, I know it's not Sullivan or McNamara.
So Stratton or no? Man, that was a big move this morning about the 5:30 my time.
Well, because I was up and the texts were coming to me asking about it, and so that's usually when someone's setting up to hammer.
And they hammered. They did. You don't see 3-point moves.
They did. So I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how. I know I think it's Stratton, but there's some rumors that he's not 100% either. And there's also some rumors that some other guys on the team are, looking elsewhere in that. So you
know what that means? Win total is going to cover all numbers.
I know. Yeah, I was going to say.
We talked about an island. We were on that island. Hey, we got one, folks. We got one of the win totals right.
Where I mean, I know this totals come down to. I just say, like, for the people watching now, are you still
watching now? I can only bet Maryland, and I think it segues. Let's just get into it. I think they're pretty. Maryland's pretty live to win the game.
Yeah,
so that
no, I agree.
into what?
But I got one more before we get the.
All right. Well, what's the other one?
And it's the MAC game of the century, only for this show because we're such Bowling Green. So there was the big disagreement between Tent and not me and Tent both. I kind of like Ball State this week. It was up to like 12.5, 13. And then another friend of the show, Bud Elliott, liked BG strongly, thought that there was potential that some Ball State guys after the coach gets fired might opt out. I don't know. I haven't seen. It's impossible to get info on some of these programs. So it's one of those. I would caution people check on warm-ups tomorrow.
I'm neutral on it. I'd probably lean more Ball State.
I would
if I knew they were
that all
ready
everybody
to go.
Playing me too. State. But if warm-ups are going tomorrow and like Ball State's got like 3, their wide receiver, their tight end, the quarterback. If for any reason some of those guys are not warming up, then we've got a problem.
I think wins. They clinch the MAC title game appearance, right?
I thought they got to beat Miami, Ohio next week.
They still do? Jesus God.
Yeah, because they lost to Northern Illinois, and so they'd have. Hold on, I've looked at this way too often.
They win.
If they win, they're 6-1. But Miami, Ohio is also 6-1.
Yeah. And Ohio.
So
Ohio upsetting Toledo threw a monkey wrench into that.
Yeah. So they would either need win next week or Ohio to lose to Ball State because I think they have the tiebreaker over that. So,
Man, Ohio's going to win the MAC.
I
That's where I'm
know.
at right now. The one team I didn't fucking bet.
And like, well, what was the number preseason on Ohio?
A lot. Not, and it wasn't too much, but for what they had coming back, I thought it should have been like 20-1. I think it was like 10-1, 15-1.
Yeah, maybe that. All right, then I'm not. Yeah, I agree. I think Ducks got it right. Miami BG will play Ohio. So
okay. Yep. All right. Man, they still need BG needs it. I just worry that BG just smashes them, just plays like they're capable of. So I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'll let you guys fight it out on that one. The Bud versus Tent show. Who would win? I'm trying to think. I've not met Tent in real life, so I don't know if it's a boxing match who would win. Bud's decent sized dude. So
yeah, I just because I don't want to give. I mean, Tent, I will say, keeps himself in good shape, but I'm going Bud.
Jacob Gonzalez, $4.99. Super chat. Great job on the year, fellas. What do you guys have winning it all? That's a good question. You know what? I'm going to cop out and say I need to see the bracket because I think the bracket will matter.
I mean, that is a great cop out. Two, you know what? You ready for this one?
I think I know where you're going, but where are you going?
It's the team on your you got the right name on the hat.
Yeah,
just not UNLV, baby. Hottie toddy, Ole Miss. Get him healthy. Lane train. We've been dogging him all year in these serious games. He probably chokes away one of these games, I'm sure. But I don't know. Towards the end of the season, if you're telling me they get healthy, I don't know if there's a better team out there.
Agree. That was the team that I thought you were going to say. I agree with that. They weren't even healthy against Georgia, and they smashed Georgia. Like, when do you see that? Like, it's just, ooh. No get beat by Florida tomorrow. I don't think so. I don't.
Franchise has been dogging us for fading Florida. He likes Florida.
Who likes Florida?
Franchise.
Oh, franchise.
He was dogging us for
franchise. Stick to the player props franchise.
Speaking
you got a player prop or two? I love your franchise.
I got a Jordan, a J props. Jordan last week smashed the Badger over. He went, what he finished? Over 100 yards, and we got over 32.5. He is on. Now, this one, maybe not as sexy, but in Zacho, Michigan, Northwestern game. And let me make sure he's going. Michigan, Northwestern receiving yards, Zach.
Boy, that's in the weeds.
Yeah. Yeah. You tell me about Bryce Kurtz, Kirtz. Yep. The over 40.5 right there. Bryce, that's what he likes. Don't think he'll be Northwestern, not going to be able to run the ball at all. Going to have to chuck it. He's one of the only guys on the receiving with the pulse. I told him hope it loses because they're playing Michigan, but I actually, to be honest with you, don't hate the
pick. I like the Kurtz kid. He's one of the more underrated wide receivers in the country. He even got a couple good catches against the Buckeyes last week, and Will Johnson's not going right.
No, I think Will Johnson's somewhere in Arizona getting ready for the draft right now. I don't think anyone's seen him in Michigan in 6 weeks. So
good call. Speaking of player props, if you're looking to beat the college football and basketball player prop market, it's time to try BetStamp Pro. The odds screen our friends at BetStamp have created to highlight market-based edges across any prop type. It's essential for top-down bettors. And BetStamp has developed. I'll rewrite this copy. Give me the copy. I'll write it. I'll go. Fuck it. We'll go. If you ever seen that, the Bill O'Reilly. It's a famous meme. BetStamp has developed a highly efficient, reliable, market-based true line that incorporates unique market-specific adjustments powered by real-time data from over 50 sportsbook. Plus, BetStamp Pro features a user-friendly layout that allows you to view line history for any prop with ease. What you're going to do is visit betstamp.com/HTB. HTB standing for Hit the Books. Betstamp.com/HTB to get the Hit the Books exclusive trial pricing and a free demo. A limited number of spots are available, so act quickly. I got to rewrite that copy, so I'm not messing that up. Maybe it's my brain, but fucking thing sucks. No, that's the Bill O'Reilly quote. If you haven't seen it, it's him, very young Bill O'Reilly back in the day. It's one of the funniest things on the internet. Paul, we got one more, and then we're gonna get to your parlay. $4.99 super chat. $4.99 super chat from Paul. Utah +7. I think this could be it for Whittingham. Last home game for him. I lean that way.
I lean that way too. I mean, we've been like Iowa State, kind of, you know what, on the show a few weeks ago. Like, this team doesn't have it. And again, I guess you want to call it a bounce back for Cincinnati, but I don't know. Again, going into Utah, I got to have a 7 though. Yeah, you got to have the 7. There's 7s out there.
Yep.
Do not play it at 6. It's a 6.5. Got to
Totally
be 7
agree.
better.
Tent had what, 7.5? I kind of
Yeah.
agree with that. There's a battle, like most games. There's a battle in the marketplace. I think Dr. Bob laid it with 6.5. Somebody took 7.5. That's all it is, folks. Especially on a low total. Let's get to it. People have been waiting all show for this, and it looks like you were even waiting to join the show. Maybe you're finishing some final touches.
I was in the lab cooking it
Yeah.
up. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a great dish in a couple minutes, baby. You got to have the underdog lay of the day. We want a 4 for 4. Finally, we've been 3 for 4, 2 for 4. Last week, I 1 for 4. Got screwed a few times. We got it. You know what? 4 for 4. Zach, give it to me, baby. The Joey K underdog lay of the day. Maryland there. That line's moving. I can see it on the screen already. So if you want Maryland in it, get it in there. Because, again, just a pure Iowa vibes fade here where going to have a 3rd, 4th, 5th string quarterback, whoever's in there. Couple of guys leaving the team. Maryland been playing, again, not a great season for them. Have played better here down the stretch at home. Iowa team who can't really get it going anyway. So get that. It's not a Joey K lay of the week without a disgusting CUSA game. I have no cap for this other than it's New Mexico State, Middle Tennessee. I'll take the dog. Absolutely disgraceful game. I kind of like New Mexico State lean too. I think Minnesota State. New Mexico State, a little bit of a, time to get prepped here. ECU, we talked about it. North Texas fade for me. Don't like, Chandler Morris. Don't like North Texas going. East Carolina playing better. Made the coaching change, made the quarterback change. Give me ECU down the stretch here at North Texas. And to close it out, late night, BYU, #wrong team favored. Not really, but I like I like BYU here. Coming off the loss, couple of disappointing performances in a row. I really like the 3.5. Give me the money line though, in a game that I think we're selling the top on Arizona State here. We're after, a couple of big victories. Now out to, that kind of favorite, 3.5 favorite for BYU. I can't get there. So give me the Cougs. And that is your Joey K. HTB underdog lay of the day, baby.
Love it. Definitely. New Mexico State, one of them running dogs that Tent likes to talk about. Much better running team as an underdog. So, yeah, I think we win at least a couple of them. At least. But hopefully we get a parlay. We only got a couple weeks left. Oh, you know what would be interesting? If we can do it for bowl season.
I did. Thank you, Duck, for changing the schedule on me.
Isn't that nuts? You know what? That should be part of the handicap. Oh, a freaking 12:30 start time for that game? I mean, you would think that's 10:30 Eastern. On the Eastern start time, not 3:30.
They don't play. There is no more, like the late night,
Yeah, there's some late nights.
RIP. I missed it. Good games don't start late. I mean, I guess it's nice if you want to go to bed early on the East Coast, but like
USC UCLA is at 10:30 your time.
Well, that's on
NBC.
Let me tell you that there's about 30 people in LA that care about that game. So that'll be I'll
take it. Saturday Night Live took the week off.
Who?
SNL took the week off. That game starts at 10:30 on NBC. USC. Oh. I know you're really on top of it. You're with the.
Listen. It's Joey.
Yeah, watched Saturday Night Live since Sandler was there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've seen a Saturday Night Live in about 20 years. So
yeah, there you go. That's their flagship. They love that show, but I just can't believe. Well, if you watch the 30 for 30, I'm way off topic here. The 30 for 30 on what is the XFL? Remember how it was such a big deal that they were gonna interrupt Saturday Night Live? So I just can't believe they got a college game instead. So that's good. More college. I wish NBC would do that more. Shane, let's go. Pitt, Louisville. I don't have a strong take. If it comes down to 7, I certainly lean Louisville.
Me too. I think we said the same thing on the Monday show, and the
probably
been kind of static all week. Like
I did bet over. There was a little bit of over money that came in. I lean over there. Wow, 8.5 at FanDuel. That's a point higher than the rest of the market. So if you like Louisville, don't bet at FanDuel, even though we love FanDuel. Steven Robinson, thoughts on Ole Miss -11. Steven, where were you? You're one of our favorite people.
I know.
We gave out Ole Miss on Monday. We gave out Ole Miss at -10. Best bet. Love that bet. Tyler Simonson, I'm starting at the bottom, Zach, and working my way up. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Thoughts on Wisconsin +1. Looks like Nebraska has the flu. Speaking of flu, I think there's flu for USC too.
Yeah, I saw
COVID 25.
I tell you, this thing about if I had $1 for every, flu game where like you just don't like who has it, how bad are they, and I'm like, it's so, I don't know. It's one of those, it's very hard to quantify unless you're, in the know. And, especially if it's like, a couple days before the game, it's break-in. Like, our guy's going to be fine by then. It's 18 to 22-year-old kids. Like, I don't know. I don't usually get to. This isn't like COVID where you can't be around somebody for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And even then, when teams you thought were absolutely decimated, and it's just like, nope, they weren't. That's the one thing that I was glad we actually saw some of that. That coach is out. Well, what's a coach worth to the point spread? Does it matter? A lot of times it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, Ryan in the chat, thoughts on Fresno, Colorado State. Ryan, we love you. We gave out Colorado State. That one's holding. We haven't had any CLV there. We gave out +3.5. Where the Rams far exceeded expectations. The state of Colorado far exceeded expectations. I think they're on a 15-game cover streak between the two teams. 15-0, those two teams. Calmsy, talk me out of UMass +42.5. Don't see a reason for Georgia to put the hammer down in this game. I kind of see that. That's the only way I could go there.
Same. I bulked on the early, it was like 44.5, and been seeing if anybody would pop it back. I don't think it's coming back. But yeah, I can only play that way. I just does Georgia even, can Georgia put the hammer down with that offense? I mean, I know it's UMass, but
if Don Brown was still there and they didn't just fire a coach, and then they have this, I don't know if you've seen this, the senior day fiasco that UMass is dealing with next week. If there wasn't that going around, I think I'd be more in on UMass.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts? I know there's a few more in the chat. We got another show tomorrow. We'll get to it. We're already at 6:10. We did start late. Wonder why. I'm joking, man.
Yeah, I couldn't get the link from Zach.
You got any closing thoughts? Oh, Army Notre Dame. What do you got there?
I mean, listen. I know it goes against the history here. Service academies getting a couple of touchdowns. I'm more warming up to your getting on the Notre Dame.
I'm waiting. I just want to. Where does this go tomorrow? Is there enough Army love to just drive that extra half point that's going to give me? I can tell you this. This is how we'll close it. I got a text. Guy's been quiet because I haven't mentioned this publicly, but I think there might have been a 3-17 run from this person. 3-17. Didn't rub it in, but 3-17.
3-17 is a tough.
Yeah, he went quiet. He went dark. He was joining LeBron, going dark on social media.
If it's the same person I'm thinking of, hasn't had a great college football season. After, people being like, oh, who's this college football guy? Been a rough year for certain people.
He texted me this morning. I haven't responded yet. Maybe he's watching. I want Army +14. Let's go. How about dinner at Barry's? Buddy, it's going to be on you if I decide to bet it. Notre Dame smashes Army. So there you go there. Few more for the road. BT Duke. I'm not involved. Did you get clarification on drones and Tootin there?
No, not.
That's been back and forth on the market.
Yeah, I know. Not officially. Not anything that I'm looking to bet on.
Agree.
Oh!
Colorado, Kansas. You want to go head to head on that one? We haven't done a head to head, have we? You want Colorado? I'll take Kansas. I'll go with 2.5. No,
Son of a bit. Yeah, give it. Zach, put it on the sheet.
2.5.
Give me the prime. You know what? Just because that'd allow me to put out the prime shades if it covers.
Yeah. That one's been back and forth. I see today. Wow, that went back to 2.5 pretty much across the board. It was, man, I have not timed that one right. I kind of like Kansas.
Someone was looking at FanDuel look aheads. I bet a few. Did you get involved in any of these? Or you want to wait till tomorrow?
Oh, you bet a few. You know what? I haven't. I'm behind, man. I love the one that we gave out on Monday. I love, obviously, South Carolina against Clemson. What one did you go after? I gotta grab it. I looked at it.
I think you're gonna.
Probably SC against Notre Dame, but
no, it was the other way around. I laid the 5.5 with Notre Dame.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're smart in that one because I think that's actually from a price aspect because I think Notre Dame smashes Army and I could see UCLA beating USC. So if you want to bet SC, you got to wait because I think Knish is on the right side there.
I thought it would be more in the 6.5, 7. So, and I know it doesn't sound like, but in this late in the season, I'm going to get the 5.5. I can't see that being.
You empty the bank account on Michigan. You all feeling good. Bryce Underwood, he's coming. Go blue against the Buckeyes. Hey, I loved it at +7. Gotta love it at +23.5.
I mean, I've got a couple of Michigan tickets at different prices. We'll see if we're ready to. I'm about to martingale all these Michigan game of the years versus Ohio State here, so I'm gonna have to wait to get a big position on 23.5 to cover all the other ones.
Did you bet Vandy against Tennessee?
I did not. I don't.
All right.
Think so.
What about Arkansas against Missouri? Did you bet that one? I was looking.
No. Oh, there was. The other one. I took the Washington.
What was that at?
18.5 for Oregon.
You took +18.5?
Yeah.
Man, I think you're gonna get a better number.
Okay.
I love you, man. In a completely healthy, heterosexual way, but I think you got a bad number.
All right. You've been anti-Washington this last few weeks.
Yeah, I don't like him. They just never got really buttoned up. Although they had a decent performance against UCLA. I'm just looking. I did look at it. I did write a bunch of numbers down. I didn't see much. I don't know.
I mean, they look decent for UCLA, and now they got 15 days here to prep for the only game.
I hear you.
That's
Oregon. They're off this week too.
Yeah, that's fair. I think they keep it. I think it's a competitive.
Right. I'm just telling you. I mean, I don't like Oregon. I'm just telling you. I think you're going to get 20.5.
All right. I was going to say I'd love it 21.
Yeah, you might get that too.
Come on.
Looking at it, Vanderbilt would be mine right now. Current. The Commodores. I got nothing else. You want to close it out?
Yeah. Give it. Review the portfolio.
Let's look at it. Let's look at the portfolio. I don't know. I'm blanking. Let's see what it looks like. SMU -9.5. Wow, that blew up. That's good. Look at the CLV there. Ohio State, we talked about it. Big time negative CLV because the center. I still like it. Buckeyes by 14. Under North Carolina, BC. That's weather related. You can thank your buddy the Hitman got me on that one. He's Hitman college football weather on that one. I think he's got a good weather guy in the NFL that also does some college. Look at BC +3.5 right through the key number 3. Love it. Hopefully dogging under in that game. Rutgers -120 on the money line. We like the way that the Scarlet Knights are playing. Ole Miss, Berries, Florida. Ole Miss, your 2024 national champs, according to Knish. I agree with him. Under 57.5, Jacksonville State. I just can't get. How does Sam Houston game get to this number unless there's like 10 overtimes? Bryce Kurtz over 40.5. What's your buddy's name?
Jordan.
Gordon or Jordan?
Jordan.
I'm getting old, man. ECU +3. there. We gave that out. That's part of the money line parlay as well. Vanderbilt Monday, Colorado State Monday. Wow, that must have moved if we got some CLV there. South Carolina, that's next week. Love South Carolina. Ooh, we got A&M next week. That's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
that's gonna be negative CLV.
I tell you what, the mid-year adders on the game of the years were fine. The early ones were we had a couple. Oof.
Yeah, we'll have to. Well, everything's on the table for next year. We'll have to reevaluate everything when it comes to off-season stuff.
Yeah.
And it's my fault. I'm gonna take the blame because I obviously, if I don't meet with you and get you your money, I mean, I might be, looking like this, no fingers. So if you ever see Casino, that'll be Knish and his people bashing my hands with a hammer. And speaking of hammer, that's a good way to close it out. You just watched.
A phenomenal segue.
Yeah, you just watched Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, producer extraordinaire, Zach Phillips. I'm merely Brad Powers. Thank you to all the questions, comments, concerns. Remember, halftime tomorrow, big noon kickoff.
Big
Indiana,
noon.
Ohio State. We'll see you then.